Hello peeps, a Hillbilly Half with you today. We'll do a bit of a small video like this today. I thought I'd give you an update on how the farming protests are going in Wales. It isn't. I'm the only one still doing it. Everybody else has given up. Since that protest was in Cardiff, that the Farmers Union had organised, there's been nothing. Nothing. They give up. We've been thrown under the bus by all the farming unions and the larger farmers, because mostly the people in charge of that have got larger farms and they're not interested in people who have smaller farms. That's the reality of it. And we've all been chucked under the bus. And this new 10% tree thing is going to come in, and they'll be okay because they've got huge acreage of land and it won't affect them. And that's how it always is with these schemes. So the people in these positions of power have got certain size farms and they don't give a shit about the smaller farms. That's the reality of it. It's 6 months on since I started doing these videos. A lot has changed. 2 leaders have gone. Hopefully I helped with that. And I am pretty sad, really, at how the small farming in Wales has been left. It reminds me very much of what happened in the 2000s when the new EU schemes came out. It was the same thing. We lost 2/3 of our income overnight. And we nearly lost the farm that year. And thankfully we didn't. And I struggled to pay for it all. And I paid my mortgage back. And I remember, I've told you about this, I remember going to the bank to get the deeds. Well, since then, I did buy a bit of ground, and I've got the rest of this year left, and that one's paid off. So, no debt then, of any kind. Now, I know I'm a small farmer, and people in the farming community tend to look down on me, but I won't have any debt whatsoever. So anybody trying to tell me what can do can go and take a running jump. I may not earn a lot, but I don't owe anything to anybody, neither. Now, you'll find a lot of these big farms owe huge amounts of money. A lot of these YouTube farms you'll see as well, the Pembertons and the Ollie blogs. I wouldn't like to see their bank details, I tell you. It all looks great on screen, but they don't show you what's going on. Like I remember when Tom Pemberton, one of the biggest YouTube farmers, put solar panels on his roof. And that thing cost pretty much $500,000. $500,000 to do that. And he had a grant for it and had to take a huge loan out for that. Now, the normal person can't do that because it'd never pay back. It would never pay back. Now, since I've heard him talk about how he was using 2 houses worth of electric a day to run his parlour. But when his dad owned it, when he had less, it wouldn't have used that much because he wasn't using so much electricity. They're going to get in trouble, these big farms now. I've seen it all before. I've seen lots of dairy people go out of business when I was younger because the prices dropped, and they've got you by the balls. It might be okay now, but overnight, boom, that price can just drop and interest rates go up. I know myself, I've seen it here. Like I said, we nearly lost a farm here, and within 2 weeks, the bank pulled the rug out from under us. 2 weeks. So there's lots of farms in my area now. I know a lot of them well, lots of them are my friends, but they're making a lot of money on sub. Some of them are getting over $500,000, some $750,000. And nobody speaks up. They're afraid to say anything. They're having a cushy number themselves. They don't want to rock the boat and help others out. That's how it always is. That's how it's always been. My dad always told me small farmers always get shafted, and they do. And they're the lifeblood of the country, especially farming, because where do you think all the workers come that work on farms, off small farms? Sons and daughters and the people who haven't got quite enough. But yeah, so where's the farming protest gone? Like I said, all the farmers' unions have thrown us under the bus. It's all about sustainability. That's what it's all about. Which is just nonsense speak in reality. Wind is coming now, sorry. Nonsense speak in reality. What it is, they're afraid to say anything in case the governments take their sub off. That's what it's all about. Instead of sticking together and helping everybody. Now, I saw a thing a couple of months ago. Ollie Blogs, another big YouTuber. He's the head of the Farmers Union in England, pretty much. He's up there. He's at the top of the table. And I see he managed to get his free drill for planting bird food. You know, that'll be 100 grand drill. Get his grant to do that. Tom Pemberton's be getting his grants to get his things as well. He's always putting them in. They get them, don't worry. Trouble is then, they're afraid to say anything bad about the schemes. And these scheme people know about it. Most of these big YouTubers are arse-licking these places and they won't tell you the truth. And that is the truth of it all. And there's one thing I always remember in business. Now, like I said, I don't have a huge income, but here's the big one I always remember. Turnover is vanity, profit is sanity. So you might have £1 million turnover, but if you've got only a small profit, you're no better off. Now, that's how I look at life. You're better off owing people nothing and then having the ability to do what you want. I don't want to be a bigger farm. I love my small farm. Sometimes you get a bit of grief of people because they think I should be doing more, but why? I love my small farm. I don't want a big farm. I just love deciding what I want to do every day. Feeding people. That's what I just realized years ago. That's what my job now is, to feed people. My whole sort of life evolves around that now, looking after my stock and trying to feed people. I don't try not to think about money if I can help it. You just want enough to survive and look towards the next week. Now, it's a shame, really, that we're looked down on so bad these days, but thankfully, after having this channel and doing these protest vids for the last 6 months, I've learned that the public actually like us. That's what I've learned. And it's all an illusion that they don't. They're being fed a lot of nonsense. They're being fed a lot of nonsense. And here's one thing for you. If you want to spot a proper farmer and one is actually living within their means a bit, you go and have a look at the machinery yard. That's my advice to you. You'll soon see, not so much on an arable farm, because they need things like that on an arable farm, but you go and look at the machinery yards and the vehicles that are driving. You'll soon see who's making the most sub. That's what I've learnt over their life. And also, I've been to a few of these top farms, these that you always see on things, and I remember going to pick a trailer up at one of them about 10 years ago, and I went round the back of the shed and there was dead stock everywhere. But at the front, it was lovely. Tarmacked, lovely. That's how lots of these places are. It's all a charade. All a charade. So don't be fooled by it all. Thank you all for watching as usual. I know this will upset somebody, but I don't care really. It's of no interest to me now. I just say what I think, and that's what the hillbilly half-wit always does. We should remember where your food comes from and look after the smaller farmers in Wales, because they're the heart of the country. Ta-da.